Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, is better at world building than you. Nobody on this planet could do it better than you can. You are the master of your universe. You are the creator. Once you start telling yourself otherwise, that's when things start to go downhill. Once you compare your work to the next creator, that's when you get this imposter syndrome and you quit. That's when you tell yourself, I'm not good enough. Why is their work better? What are they doing different than I am? My advice to any world builder, if you're just starting out or if you're a veteran and you've been in world building for years, is to stay in your lane. Figure out what you're good at, stick with it. If you're good at making accessories, make accessories. If you're good at making waste barrels out of little bottle caps and just whatever, keep making those until you start getting comfortable, and then you can expand. Try to learn as many techniques as you can. Watch other creators, see what they do, and try to apply that. When I first started building Sky Bottom, I didn't know what I was doing. I just seen a picture and I was like, man, I want that. So I looked at the picture, I seen what the structures were made out of, I seen what kind of materials that they were using for their accessories, and I went out, dug in the drawers, dug in the garbage, went behind Goodwill. I knew my work wasn't going to be good. I knew my work wasn't going to be the best. But what motivated me was knowing that it's my work, knowing that I built that. Being able to have a world of my own that I created for my figures. That's the only motivation you need, is just knowing you did something with your bare hands. Now, whether you collect Lego, whether you collect miniatures like Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer, if it's 3.75, 1/18 scale action figures, or even 6-inch figures, you could world build and you could start today. You don't have to have an entire universe to be world building. World building means many different things to many different people. Some people think world building is story writing, or world building is having a government or like a type of law established or character development. World building could be something as simple as making a waste barrel for your figures. World building could be something as simple as making a gasoline tank, painting a gasoline tank and weathering it and just saying, hey, I made this accessory. Guess what? That's part of my world now. In my world, we have this little gasoline tank. I don't want people to get discouraged. Sky Bottom is here to inspire and to motivate. The reason why I really made this channel, the core reason, was because I wanted to share with you guys, like, hey, you could do it too. Like, you know that movie Bird Box? And the guy was like, look, it's beautiful. That's what I want you guys. I want to show you guys, look, you could do it too. I used to be that person on Instagram scrolling and just feeling like, man, that stuff is so good. Man, they're so lucky that they have the power in them to create what they want. That's a gift from God. But guess what? We are all created alike in God's image, which means we can create. We can build. Humans are creators. Humans are smart. Humans are masters. One of my favorite things to do is build worlds. I have a small Dungeons and Dragons town or world that I've built. It's called Gloomchester. And it's my own town within my world. And I have a Warhammer world that I created known as Gutter Scum. So when I play Warhammer, on my table is my world on my planet that I created. And it just keeps you connected. It makes you feel immersed within knowing that, hey, I built this. I love being able to put myself in a world that I built. Sky Bottom Station. I'm a citizen. I live right here. I live in Sky Bottom Station. All I'm saying is you could world build too. If you have a problem because I'm not creative or I'm not artistic, you have to get that out of your mind. You have to have the mindset of my work is good. Now think about a first grader when they're drawing a picture. Oh, this is my mom, this is my dad, this is our house. What is it? Stick figures. The house is a square with a little triangle roof. But guess what? That little kid, that first grader is so proud of it. That first grader, what he sees or what she sees is that house detailed out with their front yard and their dog. And they see that stick figure as their mom, as their dad. They see it, they know what it is, and they're proud of it. When we build and it's not how we think it should look, but knowing it's our work, that should be good enough. That should be enough to be proud of. Start digging in the garbage. Start going through your old junk drawer. Find little nicks and knacks and little bottle caps. Find anything that could be turned into something. Once you have that eye and you can start seeing garbage as treasure and you can see garbage as accessories, that's the track you want to be on. I see anything that's wooden and squared as a building. I see a bottle cap with a unique design on it as a storage container or a shipping container. I see anything, something. And that right there is already the mindset you want to have. The hardest part of world building is putting what's in your head out into the world and having it look like that. That's the tricky part. That's where a lot of us get discouraged. But I tell you this, don't get discouraged. Just be proud of your own work. When you're on Instagram and you're scrolling through other world builders, seeing what they're creating, don't look at it and compare your work to their work. Look at it as inspiration. Look at it like, okay, what can I use at home that I have now within my skill set to create something just like that? It doesn't have to be a one-for-one copy of what you see on the internet. It doesn't even have to be half as good. Make it your own, you know? My favorite thing about world building is knowing, hey, I built this. Knowing that I created something that I can name. Something that nobody else on this planet owns but me. Sky Bottom behind me, I'm the only person in the world that has Sky Bottom. Not a station, but Sky Bottom. Sky Bottom is unique to my world. And that's priceless. You will be the motivation for the next person. Don't stop, because there's somebody else that you can motivate and help them get out of a depressive rut. You could help them become creative. By you not being creative, you're not helping the next person. Part of motivation and creativity sometimes is knowing that your work is not good, but having the confidence to show the world. And guess what? It might help somebody else be like, you know what? Their work is not really top tier, but I like it because it's theirs and they're proud of it. So it motivates the next person to be proud of their own work, knowing that, hey, it might not be the best, but guess what? It's my work. Your work is the best. Nobody could create your work the way you see it better than you can. If world building is something you're interested in, I suggest give it a try. Because you know what? You'll have a lot of joy knowing that you could bring something to this world. A lot of you toy collectors out there, I see you guys. You guys have a bunch of toys. They're all stood up on the shelf, still in their packaging, hanging on the wall. But do you know how much fun you could have with these toys? We could create what we want. And even if it doesn't look exactly like it in our heads, this is what it is. You know, behind you, it might look like a bunch of wood and square boxes with a bunch of greeblies over it. But I see a city. But I smell gas and chemicals and smoke. And I hear sirens and alarms going off. I hear people chit-chatting. I hear droids beeping. That's what I see. That's what I vision when I look at Sky Bottom. Someone is going to see what you're working with. Someone's going to see your vision. And just do it knowing that somebody else is going to see it. You're not the only one out there. There's a lot of people that are struggling to create, but the hardest part is to create. It's that imposter syndrome, thinking that we're not good enough. Our work is never going to be good enough. So why try? World building is hard. It does take time, but guess what? As long as you're motivated, it's easy. And just know you're not going to have a whole station or a whole world built overnight. One piece at a time, one figure at a time, one custom cloak at a time. You'll get there. Just don't stop. Thank you to the true supporters, to the true followers, to the true citizens. I remember what got me here. I remember why you're here. You guys were here from the beginning because you guys wanted to see Sky Bottom. You guys wanted to be inspired to create. And it's my job to make sure you guys have that. I want you guys to leave here motivated, feeling inspired to create. And please, I I beg you, please share with me your work. I want to see your guys' work. I want to see what you guys could do for me too. Inspire me, make me motivated. I need you to make me motivated so I can motivate you. Is that a lot to ask for? Maybe it is, but I don't think so. I just want to spread the love. Don't think too hard. Just build, just create, have fun. Yes, I forgot to say that. At the end of the day, you should be having fun. If you're not having fun building and creating, you need to take a break. Not that it's not for you. You just need to take a mental break because you have to be in the right mind state, the right mindset to create. You have to be healthy and you have to feel motivated. A wise man once told me, motivation rarely comes from thought. It comes from action. So when you're doing something, even when you don't want to do it, that's motivation. If you have to force yourself to get up, to record, to paint, to do something creative when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to, that is motivation. Motivation comes from getting up, knowing that you don't want to do it, and just doing it. Even if you do it for 5 minutes, even if you do it for 10 minutes, you're still doing it. You have that much more progress done. I wish I knew all the answers on how to keep motivated every day, but me, honestly, I'm not motivated every day. I'm not inspired every day, but I know that I have to get up and do it. If I want to make something out of Sky Bottom, if I want to continue to inspire, I have to get up and do it. I'm not going to wake up one day and say, oh, I'm motivated. I'm going to be motivated for the rest of my life. No, every day I have to force myself to get up and do this. And that right there, that's the key. Sometimes you got to force yourself. If you force yourself, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. As long as you're doing it, you're only doing something wrong when you're not creating. But when you're creating, even if you're tired and don't want to and just frustrated with the whole process, okay, take a break. But guess what? You made some progress today. That's perfect. Progress is better than perfection. Remember that.